Hi chums, right, we've got a wee different project today, a nice wee simple project. We're going to make one of these, okay? And what would that be for, I wonder? Well, it has to do with this here, and then that becomes a little roof, okay? And you've got a little roof. You can put your little roof out of clay onto something you made. So we went to see a lady called Carol Wiley. She does pottery classes, and some of the wood turners, about 5 of us went, and they made little nest boxes. But I wanted to do something different because I don't like doing flowers and colour, not because I'm not confident with colour. So I thought it's the same shape as a round tower. Now, for the people who don't know about these in Irish history, the round towers are built by monks in the Middle Ages, and whenever bad people came along to steal them and kill them, they used to run along, get up their ladder into the tower, pull the ladder back up, and then go, ha ha ha, you'll not get us now. But unfortunately, when the Vikings arrived, they knew about fire. So they set the towers on fire with the monks inside. So the choice then, you could put the ladder out and come down and get slashed to death, or you could cook. So it was a kind of a grisly end, no matter what you decided, you know. But there's loads and loads of these all over Ireland. So that's what I decided to do, was a little sort of round tower effect, you know. And this is the roof. Now it's called slab pottery, where you use flat pieces of clay and mould them. So this roof here starts off as a disc like this, and then you fold it around and you get this shape. So what we offered to do was to make Carol formers. These here would fit on top of. Whoops. These would fit on top of like that. And then the students could use those to shape their roof more easily, because the problem with slab pottery is the more you handle the clay, the softer it gets, so the more harder it is to manage. So you want to keep contact as little as possible. So that's what it's for. And then there's a little step in here to allow people's fingers to go underneath to get at the edge of the thing, you know. So I'm doing 6 of these. I've got 5 done already, and this is the 6th one. And then I'm going to do another couple of different slopes. I was talking to Carol yesterday, and she asked for some with different, more shallow slopes on them. So I have a few more blanks, so I'll do that with those, you know. So we'll just set that into the waste paper bin, or the shavings bin, and I'll get set up here for doing this, okay? So I'm going to turn you off and come back again when after it gets set up. Right, so these blanks are just made up of scrap ply, just glued together. It's ply that we get from a furniture maker who cuts it out in the CNC, so you get little sort of all your wee indents in that. But the sheets come full of holes, but there's loads of really good stuff on it, so we get it and then use it for stuff like this and making jigs. So then it's on here, it's just been glued together, it's on there, and I have this set up. I'm going to be running about 1200 or so, and I'm going to work my way up. And I had an incident earlier on, I was cutting earlier on, and the headstock kept lifting, and I discovered this handle over here had actually been knocked down. I don't know how that happened. And I was kind of really relieved that I found something wrong, because I couldn't. What is lifting a lathe this size, you know? It weighs almost, I don't know, about half a ton or something. So anyway, that's where we are. I'm sorry, I've got a catch in my throat today. I don't know what's going on. So we'll get rid of my wee monk thing here. Do you want to do? And here we go. Now, we're turning plywood, so face mask on. And I'm going to be turning this slightly differently than the last few, because I don't want to get stuff on the camera, so I'm going to try and steer the shavings over this way more, you know. So here we go. So turn the lathe off, turn her on, and bring her up slow. And there's no weird noise. I've just this on a screw chuck, and whenever you're putting stuff on a screw chuck, just snug it up to a big chuck. You don't need to go on like a gorilla, because you have to get it back off again. And as you turn, the whole time you're turning, you're pushing the blank backwards, so it's getting tighter and tighter, and then it gets hard to get off. You know, you understand, if anybody has done a small bowl, you know all about that. So, here we go. Just routinely turn your lathe down before you turn it on. We're just out of the line of fire. We're just starting to get a vibration there, so we'll cut at that. So I've just got into a position here now where I'm just slightly uncomfortable. which means that I'm going to be going from a sort of more comfortable here, so I'm slightly uncomfortable here, so it means I'm working towards being more comfortable, which gives you a much more controlled cut. So off we go. Big lump came off there, did you hear that? I did. Let's see what happened there. I don't know what came off there. There must have been a piece that just came off as a lump because I don't see anything. I'm looking here somewhere. Anyway. I know what it was. I just remembered now what it was. When I was setting this up, there's a big lump of glue up there where it dried, and as the glue was coming off and hit the wall behind me. So we're alright. More speed. Nearly there. Now normally when I'm doing this sort of thing where I'm rounding a square, I would start from here and work my way back. But because I need this to be a cylinder, I'm starting just on roughing straight across, you know. So these are set at about 5 1/4 inches, or 5 1/4, and they're too big. If you want an idea of how much you have to go to see, just put the caliper on the edge and bring it over into the work, and you can see I've still got about 1/4 inch to go over here. So it'll give you an idea of what's going on, you know. So about 1/4 inch, so that means an 1/8 inch on one side will take 1/4 off the whole way across. Remember, whatever you take off here comes off here as well. We're not too far off now. Yeah. So just time get the ruler out. Get the ruler out now and see. And I like to put my thumb on the back of the ruler and then move the ruler. Whoops. Move the ruler up and down to get the full diameter. So you can see here that we're about 1/8 inch to go. So that's a 1/16 on each side. And there we are. We're near a bang on. There's no wee tiny rub. Right. So I've got my measurements here on the tails. I do this, just write them on a bit of tape and then stick them on the lathe and having to keep looking for them and stuff. So my diameter is 5 inches and then my height is 65 millimeters. So not like mix and match your measurements, but I just measure to whatever the closest one is. And if the closest one's 1 inch, you use it, and if the closest one's 1 millimeter, you use it. So that's why we're in millimeters. So we'll just mark 65 there, and then just line that up and turn our lathe on. And now there's something to aim at now. Okay, so I'm going to turn the rest this way because I'm going across that way. It's much easier to cut across and to try and cut up and across. So here we go. Hope we don't hit the camera now. So keep moving the tool rest in. And I have this angle more or less between there and there to give me an idea of a line that I can work at. So this is my guideline here. So just up here, the diameter of this is almost the same as the height of this, so I know I'm on the right track. Whenever I take this off, I'll take half of that off, which will bring me to the centre. Sorry, the diameter of that is twice the height of that. So whenever I take that off, I'll hit the middle there. Alright, we're almost about a quarter of an inch to go here, and we're on centre there, so I'm just going to check where I've gone there. Straight edge. Oh, we're lovely. This is lovely, so I'll just keep on working on that there. Bring it a bit closer. Straight edge. Right, that's not bad. Got a wee bit of a bump there, so I'm going to take that out. Right, see what I like now. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm just going to touch it up with a skew, and that's okay to do, because the skew's acting as a negative reg scraper here, because it's got a bevel on both top and bottom, so it's safe to do this. Just be careful. See, before you do sort of finish cuts like that there, we sort of finish scrapes, as you say. Just be careful with pine or with plywood, because it grains on all different directions, and you can very easily get something in your hand. I shouldn't have touched that there now, but you do this because you're so used to feeling things to make sure they're right. And I've got a wee tiny bump here. I mean, you can hardly see it, but I know it's there. You can see what I'm taking off there. I'm just taking dust off here. I'm just going to show you the whole thing here, sanding and all, because it doesn't take very long. But I want to show you how to get this off if there's a problem. Right, we're not too bad there now. So I'm going to sand this now. So turn the lathe down, and with a nice fresh piece of 80 grit. Now I would normally run the extractor now, but only for a few minutes. Oh, I forgot to do a wee cut there. Forgot to do a wee cut underneath there to allow the I want to do a wee cut under here to allow for the fingers to go underneath. Just rounding this corner over here. It doesn't have to be sharp. And remember, these are going to be handled a lot, so you want them nice and smooth. That's okay, so that's your 80 and a nice clean piece of 120. Pop a finger in the chuck there. Remember, don't get blood on the wood. We're alright. There's a final wee check to make sure that that's that's great. Now just before I take it off, your final check is to stick this boy on and see does it work. And this isn't exact, because the way it's cut, it's not exactly right. It doesn't fit exactly on top of each other, but that's it, basically sitting on now, you know. So it's okay, they're all exactly the same. I'm going to take a wee bit. I'm going to take a bit. I've noticed, spread it out there with a stick. That's it now. There's it now. So there's a wee bit extra there to allow somebody, maybe a bit bigger if you want to, you know. So that's where we are. So getting this off. Right, now the problem is, there's no way I'm moving that there. So we get our oil wrench out, our oil strap out, and put that on. And this saves you a lot of grief, and it's rubber, so it doesn't leave any damage. So that's all right there. Lock her up, and then, oops, that was bad. This is probably been a left handy. It's awful hard to work this on the lathe when it's all everything designed for readies. There you go. See? Easy peasy. And that's another one done. So I'm going to get in touch with this lady Carol and ask her what finish she wants on these. Maybe she doesn't want any at all. But I don't want to put something on that's going to affect the clay, you know, like wax. I wouldn't put wax on it, but I might put PVA glue or just sanding sealer. So that's it. That's our wee project for today, and I have another many more. 1, 2, 3, 4 more to do, and that's it. All the best now. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.